Soggy Science here. Number 19. Booyah! Hoo-hoo! Getting in there. Well, Chinese. Good news. They've outlawed the consumption of shark fins, apparently. Can't really find a lot of news on it, which surprises me. But they've outlawed the consumption, importation, use of 420 endangered species, of which sharks are part of that. So it appears, if it holds up and goes through and finalizes, that shark fin consumption in China is outlawed, at least for some species of sharks. The list isn't out yet. I'm really surprised we haven't seen more news on that. But hey, it's good news. Apparently it's a 5 to 10 year plus prison sentence if they're caught. And it's 420 species. So who would have thought that? I look forward to way more news on that front. It should be exciting. Good friends of Soggy Science, OPS, Louie, we're at the Tribeca Film Festival showing the work in progress of Six the Movie. That's the follow-up to The Cove, the Academy Award-winning documentary on the Taiji dolphin call and capture. This one is on the sixth great extinction. Check out Louie's interview. And very interesting, very exciting, and I'm sure it will live up to the follow-up for such an exciting movie like The Cove. So keep your eyes peeled for it. Check it out. Watch the trailer. It's very cool. Lots of good friends in there of Soggy Science. So hi everyone, and enjoy, guys. Look forward to that coming out, and everybody check it out because it's going to be very, very exciting. Very cool news out of Fort Lauderdale. University of Florida, Leonid Moroz has a floating genetics lab, so he can do real-time genetic coding and figure out what's going on with ctenophores. Those are comb jellies. People think they're jellyfish, but they're not. They actually have rudimentary nerve cells in them, and he found accidentally that when they're damaged, they can regenerate. So there may be some great leads in brain research and regeneration for human beings, but they're actually able now to collect them in real time, code them, influence some damage on them, and then see how the genetic expression changes in real time throughout the process. It only takes 3 or 4 hours for them to repair damage and a couple days to fully regenerate. Pretty exciting stuff. Neat. Marine biology is so cool. Good job, guys, down there at the lab. And really interesting to see what comes in the near future, not so distant future. We talked about the deep sea mining last week, and this week reports of the first Arctic oil delivered from Russia. So that genie's out of the bottle too. Reduced Arctic ice means exploitation of the region for mineral resources and other resources. Highly sensitive area, as we know, so hopefully we won't see too much tragedy up there and they can keep it safe. If you drive a car, we have to be curious and interested in what's happening with oil because we're all contributing to the issue. So carbon footprint notwithstanding, if you travel, we should try to conserve wherever we can. Anyway, hopefully not bad news anytime soon. Greenpeace was blockading them, trying to deliver that, and that blockade was busted up. Anyway, it's going to continue, so we'll see just how big it gets. Lake Huron, cool discovery. University of Michigan, they found an underwater 9,000-year-old hunting apparatus village type of thing. They found chutes that direct caribou in, or supposed caribou in, last ice age when lake levels were lower, and corrals them so they could capture and corral caribou 9,000 years ago. So that's pretty cool. And it's underwater, so it's a maritime archaeology project. Right in line with Soggy Science. Go figure. Oh, sea stars and starfish. Not so good news on this front. We're seeing the mysterious withering on both coasts now, all up the Pacific coast and now on the Atlantic coast. Still no real news on what's happening, but the research continues, the diving continues, and some good place for citizen science. If you see it, report it, and hopefully it won't continue, or they'll figure out why, or we'll get some indication. But now that the water's warming up again, the season's rolling around to warmer times, it doesn't bode well, because the warmer water tends to accentuate the problem, at least in the past. Cross your fingers. Anyway, big blue whale carcass on shore in Newfoundland, up in Canada, and lots of guesses on whether it will explode or not, and a lot of science about exploding whales this week and today. So that's kind of weird, gross, but gross in a neat scientific curiosity way? Sort of. Kind of messy too. There's been lots of mishaps with exploding whales, intentionally exploded and otherwise. So the whale watch continues in a morbid, kind of gross way. And the science is actually kind of interesting in a gross, morbid way. So we'll see what happens. But let's not have any more washed up whales, but it happens. So we'll see how they deal with it. It's almost macabre, really. But curious, interesting. See what happens. And Galveston, Texas A&M, looking for shipwrecks. Lots of shipwrecks. They found several. And they saw a structure on sonar about a mile down that they thought was a wreck for sure. Turned out to be a giant tar lily. And a natural formation. There are natural tar seeps. We have lots of them off of Santa Barbara, California. Here in Southern California, quite a lot actually. Since oil exploration started, it's reduced some of that pressure of them coming out naturally, but they do occur. So they found a giant tar ooze that solidified, and it has a whole ecosystem built on it. So who knows? Maybe we found another chemosynthetic environment unknown to science in the past. That's the coolest part of it. But not a deep horizon oil disaster artifact. It's a natural occurring one. Very curious. Well, good news on the fisheries front. NOAA announced this week that increased economics of fishing. It's gone up, probably related to price, but also increased catch, but also recovery of more fisheries. The Pacific Sacramento River Chinook salmon and the South Atlantic black sea bass have rebounded to levels that they can ensure quota and sustained fisheries on. So it's good news. Many fisheries are still in deep trouble, but at least we're seeing some good management and scientific management that seems to be working. So there are positive things on this front. Lots more good news this week. So that's awesome. Love it. Anyway, thank you for your feedback. Have a great week. Subscribe to social media and check it out. All the daily stories are there. Send in your suggestions and comments as you have been. Thank you again. And get out in the water and get soggy.